Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. This is Em of Playing with Em, and today we are setting up my November book journal. It is bananas to me that it is already November. In my head, it is still March. I am using this art journal of Kit Club because I really liked the theme. I'm like an on and off subscriber. I subscribe depending on if I like the theme, almost exclusively. But I don't know, it felt very November-y, seasonal, and I'm also trying out waterfall tabs, and I think I might be in love. So the key here is that, so I'm using washi just because I thought it looked cute, and also it made sure that like I knew exactly where the lines were. And I'm not using they're technically not tabs because I didn't include a little tab out or whatever on them, but they're still waterfall-y enough. And so through using the washi and like making sure that it all lines up super duper perfectly, what you get is this really cool effect of just seeing like color after color after color, but also it's really functional because I can go through and like be able to flip and know exactly what page everything is on. Now that being said, I only have 4 spreads, so it's not like a huge deal. But whatever. November is gonna be NetGalley focused for me. I really did like sort of a shelf-tember sort of thing and like an own-tober. So basically like books that were on my shelf or books that I own or etc. But my NetGalley shelf is crying. It wants help, and I'm excited to read. Like I'm really excited to read. That being said, there are certainly some titles on my NetGalley shelf that are not on my TBR that I might just like dive into anyways, because your girl got approved for Bury Me in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and the scream I scrumped. Like, I cannot wait. I don't even know what the book's about, but I know that Schwab wrote it, so I will read it. That's just how it works. I also have, like, I would say an unreasonable amount of fantasy books on my TBR this month. So I recently started the Ember in the Ashes series, which it came out in 2014, 2015 initially, and so I wasn't reading as much then. I was finishing up my senior year of college and starting grad school, but oh my god, it's so good. So I am currently reading the 3rd book in that series, which is A Reaper at the Gates, and people told me that I needed to read this book before I started reading Air. Air is on my NetGalley shelf. And I didn't want to listen to them, so my hope was I would read the first book, and then I would be like, nah, and get to skip 3 of them. Well, it turns out it's really freaking good, so that's my life. My goal in life is to read everything that Saba Tahir writes because she is just astounding to me. So that's sort of where that's going. But October was also kind of eye-opening for how much money I've been spending on books. So in addition to my sort of classic buddy reads spread, which has been getting a reasonable amount of action between what I've been buddy reading with my mom and Ashley, and if there's anything that you want to buddy read, let me know, because I would love for this page to be completely covered in reads. But the spending tracker is going to make another appearance this month. So this month, this is only for books, thank God. We also have Retropolitan Craft Fair coming up, which I'm going to be attending to shop my heart out, but I'm also going to be a volunteer bookseller again, which I'm super excited for. So if you're in the Knoxville area, definitely come and check it out because it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be hawking some books with Good Girl books. Yes. But let's talk about the most important thing this month, which is my TBR, which of course is extremely ambitious, as always. So, like I said, we've got 3 Saba Tahir books. In addition, I also recently picked up All My Rage by her, which might just be like a secret bonus TBR. I don't know. Now, I am in on Elsie Silver's new series. So Wild Eyes, I just snagged on Kindle Unlimited, and I can't wait. It's chunky, which is why I've been kind of putting it off a little bit, because I'm scared because it's really, really thick, but I've heard that it's really, really good, so that's kind of where we're at. We also still have the Oleander Sword on this list. One of these days, I will actually read it. I keep writing it on there because I'm hoping it'll convince me to read it, but honestly, I don't think it's going to. Next is 4 Weekends and a Funeral, which this is I think it's a romance, but it's kind of more closed door, contemporary. And I know that it has to do with breast cancer, so just keep that in mind. So, quick fantasy rundown of books that are fantasy books that I don't entirely know what they're about, but I'm going to read and I will probably enjoy. So, we have The Daughters of Izdahar. I don't even remember who the author is, but I got this in an advent calendar last year that I bought for myself. So, it's on my shelf. I'm excited to read it. Next is Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. This is supposed to be like fae stuff, but different, a little bit darker. I'm excited. Then from our queen, Kimberly Lemming, we have That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Potion at a Werewolf. Presumably there will be drunkenness and yeeting of potions. Then we also have Breath of the Dragon by Fonda Lee, and it's co-written with someone else. I don't remember who. Maybe it's her daughter? I don't know. But this is supposed to be like martial arts inspired. I assume that there are going to be actual dragons, so like, I'm in. Let's go. Then we have kind of just a weird mix still. So we have A Monsoon Rising, which again is the sequel to the Hurricane Wars. I'm nervous about this book. I'm nervous that I'm not going to like it, or that I will have forgotten everything that I read previously, but it's fine. Then classic thriller, You're Dead to Me. Again, I'm really bad at NetGalley, where I'll just pick shit up. I'll be like, sure, yeah. Not in My Book. This is by Katie Holt, I think. This one is about 2 enemies, rivals, whatever, who have to collaborate on a book, I think, in order to pass like their MFA. Then we have Temple of Swoon by Joe Segura, and this is the sequel to Raiders of the Lost Heart. And I'm excited. I love a little action adventure romance. And then finally, The Rival by Emma Lord. No idea what it's about, but if Emma Lord writes it, I will read it. That's just how it works. Pardon the noise. My cat child is sprinting around the house for no apparent reason. Now, I will say that I don't think I've actually finished one of these self-set TBRs in months, if ever, especially since they keep getting bigger. But I will say that if I even read half of these books, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a great time. If I look back at my October, just a little bit, right? Just a teensy bit, a lot of these books were also on my October TBR. And while, I think October was definitely more fantasy focused, I'm hoping to get a little bit more romance in here. Not necessarily holiday romances, because those are not my thing. I prefer my romances year-round. Give me some summer so I can dream about that during the cold winter. But I think that there's going to be a good amount of variety in my reading this month, and that my NetGalley is going to decrease. So pretty happy about that. So let me know what you think about the setup and the little tabbed structure. I'm kind of into it. Like, is this my new thing? I don't know. Comment down below the last book you read and loved, and happy planning.